Okay, for movie 3, we are going to begin where we left off on movie 2, which was with the help of movie 1, we now have, and I'm going to hit Command semicolon, we now have the darker background behind the on the background layer, because that has now a gradient overlay on it. But what I want to do is I want to prepare where this is going to click to when we actually click the photography button. So what I want you to do right now is to, don't ruin the original, but save it, and then go to Save As, which is right there, and on a Mac it's Command Shift S or Control Alt S, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go to Save As, and I'm going to name this my photography page. So I'm going to go the first one was named Sorial Portfolio Page, which is really what I should name this one now that it's ready. So I'm going to say Sorial Portfolio, which I don't want you to ruin your web asset file. So name it your last name portfolio _ portfolio.psd, which I'm doing right now, and it'll be inside this same web asset folder. Okay, now I'm actually in that file. I'll show you here. See how it says Sorial Portfolio? Now I want to go to Sorial Photography. So you would want to now make a photography link. And I'm going to show you on my on my web page, which I'm going to bring from my other screen right now, and I'm going to hit the green button to cascade it to the full screen here. And let me just shrink it just a little. Whoops. I am sorry. Let's click here, and let's now click to making this just a little bit smaller. Okay, when I click the photography page, it takes me to this page. So rather than recreate everything, let's just change a couple of things. Okay, so we are going to remove the 3 buttons, and the left or the right hand button where this make the word back, and we'll make it right aligned to the T on contact. We'll take a copy of the Sorial Portfolio name or your portfolio name, name it photography, and then when we bring in the original, we'll use photography and just copy that text and put it down here, make it smaller, about 4 or 5 points, and call it original. So what I want to do is to minimize this, and let's go right into it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is save as to a photography page, which I've already made. So I'm going to go down here and show you that there is that page. Okay, now what I really should do is go back to the original and show you the proper techniques of getting rid of stuff and just putting it in. So I'll call this, I'm going to go into my folder right here, and here is the Sorial. I'm going to actually I'm going to save as this page into the proper place where I have it. This is the WebPage Assets folder. I actually made a student demo WebPage Assets, so I'm going to double click that. Okay, and now I'm going to name this this page that I have already finished my number 2 Sorial Photography page. Okay. Now I'm going to close it, I'm going to close it, and I'm going to go back to this page. Now I can Command Shift S and just name it Sorial Photography 1, or just Sorial Photography. So this one is the one that you should name. You should rename whatever your name is _ portfolio to whatever your name is _ photography. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I want you to do. So now that we have it, let's start getting rid of things that we don't need. In other words, on this entire thing, let's take the whole portfolio and turn it off. I actually should, doesn't really matter, but since I don't need it anymore, I should just throw it away. I now want my title buttons to maintain themselves up there. That's fine. And I want the word Sorial Portfolio to stay there. So I'm going to kind of zoom in on it. I'm going to take the Sorial Portfolio one here. And I remember how I showed you to hit the V key, as in the move tool, to hold the Option key or the Alt key, and then click and hold the Shift key, and you can make a second one. Now I'm just going to leave it right over here. And I'm going to leave it selected, go get my character palette, and I'm going to make this one be somewhere around 6 points. And then I'm going to unclick the faux. Oops, I unclicked the wrong one. I'm going to unclick the faux on it so it's no longer that. And then I'm just going to go over here and retype it. So I'll double click this and I'll name it, whoops, I have my, must be clicked in a window that is up here. Let me see it again. Okay, now I can do it again. Thank you. And go photography. And now in photography, I kind of like the size. I like everything that it is. So I'm just going to click the check mark and I'm going to just align it with the M on MACA right there. Okay, and if I want to, I can drag another guide right over to the M, and you can see how I've already aligned it pretty well there. So now let's go, now open two files, and I have this opened here, and I wanted to show you when in the module I had a face original JPEG and I had a photography JPEG. I'm going to click on both of them just like this, and I'm going to open them up with Photoshop. Now I have them both opened. I'll put them up here just so you see how, you know, it is, and I've already kind of sized it to fit in, although we'll have to resize it for our own discretion here on the size when we get it in the page. Now how do we get it from this file to our portfolio file, our Sorial photography, your photography page? We just right hand click and duplicate the layer and send it to the photography page. Now I can close this one. This was the one that I actually retouched. So let's close it. Now let's go to the original and do the same thing. Let's right hand click and duplicate the layer to your photography page. Now I can close that. Those are done. I don't need them anymore. Now I have them both here. They're both named background. So what I should do is double click the word background and put original. And since that's the word I'll need in a few seconds, I'm going to highlight it and copy it. This one is just, I'm just going to say this is the photography one. It doesn't need a title. It's kind of self-explanatory to me. So what I'm going to do is now resize it the way that I want. Okay, so what I did was I'm going to use this right alignment over here, this left alignment, I'm sorry, and I'm going to leave the original selected and hit Control or Command T. Then I'm going to hold the Shift key and I'm going to make this one not too small, but small enough to not take, I'm going to actually put it over there, and I'll put it down a ways and I can move it in a few minutes. Okay, now I'm going to hit Command semicolon to turn off the guides. Now I'm going to turn on the photography one, click on the layer, that's the very first thing you must do, and hit Command or Control T, and let's resize this one to fit in the page rather nicely. So let's just move it, make it as big as we can without making it too big, and just center it. Whoops, let me hit Command or Control T again. I didn't mean to actually move that one, and now that's pretty good. Now what I want to do is to center that picture in the page. So what I'm going to do is hit the return key, hit Command or Control H, semicolon, and then I want to use the transform and the marquee box on the transform, I'll show you what I mean, to center the big photo. So what do? You leave it selected, you hit Command or Control T, and now you just move your cursor arrows and watch, I'll enlarge the screen slightly. Watch how I can just use the cursor arrows and cursor that right into the middle, and now it's in the center. So now I'm going to hit the return key or enter key to accept and hit the save on the file. So I want to make sure I've saved this correctly. I don't really remember. Yes, I did. So I did save it to the photography page. So I'll save it and I'll just replace itself with itself. And now we have to do a couple of customization things. Let's take the word photography and change it to the word original. But I'm going to hit Command or Control semicolon to turn off the guides, and I'm going to see that there's not much separation between this original picture and this big picture, okay, which maybe perhaps I have too big. So I'm going to actually hit Command or Control T. I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit again. I'm going to hit Command semicolon, then Command or Control T again, and move it back to the center. I just wanted it a little bit smaller, and that is my own choice. So now I hit this, which is the enter key, and I hit Command S to save. And I'm going to show you how to put a nice gentle stroke around this at 2 points, or 2 pixels, I'm sorry, 2 pixels wide. So what I want to do first is add a drop shadow to this picture. So I'm going to hit Command or Control semicolon to turn off the guides. I'm going to double click out here in the photography. I want to show you 2 ways to add a drop shadow. You can leave it selected and go down to this FX at the bottom of the layer palette and go down to drop shadow, which would have been the same thing as going double clicking and just clicking on the drop shadow right there. Same exact thing. Now I want this to be a darker black, so I just click the color picker thing there, the icon, and I moved it down to the bottom. And then I'm going to move this over, and I want to distance it out just a little bit more from here. And I want the opacity to go not to 35, but I want it slightly darker, and then I want to size it out a little bit more. Oh, that's too much. Now that separates from the page rather nicely. Here it is without it, here it is with it. It just comes off the page a little bit better. Now let's take the word photography. So let's hit the V key. Let's hold Alt or Option, then hold Shift, then just, whoops, Brian did a dumb thing. I assumed that I was on the photography layer. So what I should have done, and I'm glad I do these things in front of you, what I should have done is I should have hit the V key, right hand click, and go to the photography layer, right? That was the proper thing. Then while in the V key, hold the Option or Alt key, click, then hold the Shift key and work down this way vertically to get the word photography. Now if I bring over the paragraph menu, you can see how it's on center. So if I hit left align, it's going to jump over. It doesn't matter really what it was on. What matters is I'm going to just bring up the guides for a second so I can use the P on photography to line up the O on original. Now again, I'm going to double click in the layer palette, the name, and hit Command C. Then I'm going to click away from that, and then I'm going to go down to the word photography, which was the one I'm turning off and on, and double click the T and hit Command or Control V to paste. And don't hit the return key or it'll just go to the next line. Let me hit the check mark. Now I can zoom in a little bit and just move it over to just eclipse that, because we all know that a rounded letter needs to have a plus and minus alignment a little farther over a guide so it appears visually that it's lining up with a straight edged letter. Now that's too big in size, so right now I have it at 6 points. Let's go to 4 points, and then I'm going to need to use my cursor keys to cursor it over again, and there it is, Command S or Control S to save. Let me move the paragraph menu over, and I wanted to use this window here in a minute, and I'll show you what that window is in a second. Actually, I'm just going to turn it off because I don't want you to even see the name as we speak. Now I want to add a stroke. So I'm going to go get the same gray. I want the foreground color to be a lighter gray, almost like the title, but a little tiny bit brighter. Okay, so I'm going to hit I'm going to go to the color picker, and I'm going to put it over this big S right there, and I'm going to eyedrop out the color of my logo, of my title, and I'm going to make it go slightly brighter. Whoops, I missed. So let's go back to this and click. There we go. Now I make it slightly brighter, just slightly brighter. Now I'm going to, with this color in the foreground color, I now can leave the layer selected that is the original picture, because I want the stroke to go around this original picture. And let me hit Command semicolon so you can see the impact that it's going to have. Okay, so I go to Edit Stroke, and in Edit Stroke I have a 2-pixeled stroke of that color right there. That color and the foreground color are the same color because that's what it defaults to. I'm having it from the center out, and I click OK, and now you can see if I move back on this, that has a real nice feel and a real nice separation. I think 1 pixel would have been too thin, and 3 pixels would have been too wide. So that's just me. You can reduce the amount of opacity on that stroke if you wanted to. I don't really actually think that I want to. Now, I did something kind of dumb. I can't reduce the opacity of it because I actually added it to the original layer. I should Command or Control Z back so the stroke is not there. I'm going to make a new layer above that picture, and I'm actually going to name it Original. And this is smart because it just is. I should have everything separated. Now what I want to do is add it to this layer. So what I'm going to do is make a selection of it. Sorry. By command clicking on the picture, I turn the picture into a selection. Okay? Because there's nothing on that layer, I can't stroke nothing. I have to have a selection. So now that I have a selection, I can go up to Edit, Stroke, and just say OK. Now I have the same stroke, and if I deselect, you see how it looks exactly the same as it did a minute before. But I can turn it off or on. I can even take the opacity and I can make it lighter or darker as to how much impact I want it to have, which gives me a greater amount of editing capability. Now I'm hitting Command S to save the file. Now our job is to go in and turn these into web pages. What I would like to do on this file is to kind of quickly do something with you, although it's probably going to take half an hour, 20 minutes. I'm going to slice up the page into little pictures that a web page uses. They're called GIF images. Okay? I'm going to do it in this file, but I'm also going to do it, and let me hit Command tilde to go to my other file. I have to do it again. I am not in that. Oh, because I wasn't clicked on that. So there we go. Whoops. Okay, why is not Command tilde? Oh, because I only because it's my only file open, silly man. So let's go click Mr. Sorial on what I'm thinking of is which. This is what I'm thinking of. Brian, which page am I supposed to be clicking on? It's this one. It's the web page revised one. So now actually, it was the, I have to stop that one. It's actually, if I hit the Finder, it's actually the portfolio page right there, because I had saved as. You were probably yelling at that at me. I just know you were. So now I have the portfolio page opened. I will triple check, because whatever I go to save the HTML file, it's going to use these names right here. And I want to make the names very concise as to what they are and not super long, okay? And I don't want to have any spaces, only underscores, okay? It's very important. So now, our job is to slice up this page. So I want to see if I have any slices already made on this page, and the answer is no. Let me hit Command H. The answer is no. Let me hit Command semicolon. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I didn't, because I want to do it fresh for you. But, and here is the but, I want to be able to turn, I'm going to explain myself as quickly as I can. I want you to go to Window, Layer Comps, and I want you to make 2 layer comps, 2 states. Let's make them right now. Let's click and make a new layer comp. Let's name it Normal State, and let's make sure it has visibility and appearance clicked. Please do that. Now let's go make another one. I can do that right here. And let's call this Rollover State. Let's make sure the same thing is checked, visibility and appearance. Now, currently on my screen, I have all of the way that when somebody rolls over something, it's supposed to show up. I have all the drop shadows. I have all the white of everything selected. So I am ready. I'm going to show you that if you don't, just go in. Please watch the tear sheet over here. Watch the white lettering go away. See how it turned gray? Let me zoom in. See how it turned gray? See that? Now see how I have the drop shadow actually, I have to click it. See how I have the drop shadow actually on? And I have the tear sheet on. So I am triple checking that all of my titles in the title bar are black, because that's the rollover state. Let me close the portfolio folder. Let me open the title bar. Look at how the work rollover is on. See, I'm going to go close to it. Look at how work is on. Look at how contact is on. And I'm going to make sure that I have everything in the proper way. Now, in the proper way of what a rollover would be. The all work in white, the Photoshop in white, and the Illustrator in white are all on. Okay, I am ready to memorize this in the layer comp window as the rollover state appearance. Did you get it? So what I want to do is click that button right here, go down to this two-headed arrow and click it and update it. Now, I have updated this to memorize the appearance of what I have on screen. Now, what I want to do is I want to click to the normal state, and I want to go in and turn off everything that I have to. This is going to take a minute. I need to turn off the rollover for the tear sheet and the drop shadow, the rollover for the movie poster and the drop shadow, the rollover for the hard surface product and the drop shadow. Let me now not lose track of what I'm doing, and let me just keep on going without actually saying it. I'm all the way down to 3D textures and the drop shadow. Let's go into image manipulation and the drop shadow. Let's go to photography and the drop shadow. Let's go now close that because we've turned everything off that was to be the rollover state for the portfolio folder. Let's go into the title bar buttons folder. Let's turn off all the rollover states, which I now have done, and I'm checking all up here. Yes, they're all in gray. Let's close that one. Let's go into the side buttons. Turn off the rollover state, the rollover state, and the rollover state. For the side buttons, let's close that. Now I'm saving the file. Okay, I'm saving it. Now I want to memorize this, so I click the icon for this right here. Whoops, I shouldn't have done that. Let me go back to the what I should have done is I should have actually clicked the two-headed arrow first with that selected. So hey, that's the way it happens. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and redo the whole thing. Okay, so what I want is I want to make sure that I do the whole thing over again. Goodness gracious alive. Okay, I didn't want to have to do that, but you know what? The mistakes that happen in Photoshop or any other application are just simply stuff that you have to get over, and I'm just about down to this. I'm actually going to click the circle like right now, the two-headed circle right now. Okay, now I've memorized at least that much to turn off, and I'll keep on clicking it and I'll keep on updating it as I go and move through these, which is not a bad thing to learn. What is the expression? Fool me once, shame on no one, fool me twice. Okay, now that I've got that, I'm going to update it just like that. I'm now going to click, I'm going to open up the side buttons and Illustrator, Photoshop, and all work rollovers are now off, and I update it now, and now it should be completely perfect. So when I click to the rollover state, look at how it all changes in appearance, because I made sure that the eyeball was here and that the FX was here. Now to do that, this appearance and this effects, or this appearance and this visibility, is the same thing here and here. So there now is a very fast way. And clicking back and forth doesn't do diddly squat. You have to click here and click here and click here and click here. And I'm going to triple check that everything is off and on. Good. Now I hit Command S to save the file. Now let's slice this up for the normal state, which is going to be the same thing for the rollover state. So you go into your crop tool, all the way down to the slice tool. Now, any button, and I'm going to move over to here, any button that needs to get a little square around it, because it always deals in squares, it doesn't make circles, you just put the first slice around the button like this. Okay? Now I want to kind of condense it and make it just close to the word all work as possible without getting it in the way of anything. So I'm zooming in and you can see what I've done. Now I want to duplicate this. I could either start another one or just use this one. So if I hold the Option key, then I hold the Shift key, do you see how I've turned 1 into 2? Let me Command Z back. When you're in the Slice tool, just like the Move tool, you can hold Alt or Option and there's a plus sign that appears in this case. You click it with your mouse, you then hold the Shift key, and look at how you can now position it for the word or the next thing. Now I can move this little icon out and make it wider. I'll move over. Again, click on it, hold Option, click on it, then hold Shift and move it over for the next thing. And now we can go like this. Now why was it important for me to duplicate them? Answer, because it was easy to get them all the same size on the height. Anything else would have actually created unneeded slices. For instance, if I go like this and look what I'm doing, suddenly it makes an unneeded slice. It didn't really there, but it would have if other things, it would have cut a line right through here, which is something I don't need. Okay, now I want to go on top and do the same thing for home, about, services, and the rest. So let's now make one for the word home. That's just about perfect right there. Let's hold Option or Alt, click with the mouse and hold the Shift key and make this one for the word about. I keep on saying that like a Canadian. Let's move it over, repeat the process, Option or Alt, click, Shift key over. And let's just widen it just a bit. Let's now use the space bar to move this over. Alt, Option, click mouse, hold Shift key, over. So you have to have those two things held down, and the third thing was the mouse actually. Now, again, Option or Alt, click the mouse, don't let go, hold Shift, don't let go, and now you have the contact one. Now we actually have sliced up the page for those. These are called user slices. The gray ones are necessary slices, but they're not user slices. Okay, let's go in here and now do this one. I want to draw one around the word photography, but I just want to touch the word photography, and I want to make sure that I give enough room for the drop shadow. So I'm going to go up a little bit higher. Remember, you have a drop shadow around this circle. Please remember that, okay? Please. So what I want to do here is get as close to the top and make it come about that far from the top, because I want to have room between the photography one and the organic object one. So I'm going to move to my bottom side, and I'm going to then duplicate both of them for this one, for these two, and so on and so on. And it numbers them by itself. I do not number them. Okay, so I'm going to grab the center of this one. I'm going to hold the Option key first, grab the center, hold the Shift key, and work my way down. And now you can see if I just try to get that one right there, I'm doing a pretty good job. If I go up just a little bit, I just want to go up a little bit if it's possible. Yes, it is. Okay, right there. Now I have a separation between them. I should click this upper one. Now, in order to select another one, there's two aspects to the tool. Look at how I'm going to come over here and go to the Slice Select tool, because I want to select this one and have it go up a little higher like this. Follow what I'm saying? Okay? But I have to have it actually be deep enough so that it picks up the entire white part of that letter. So I have customized those two slices. Now I want to duplicate those two slices. Let me move the layer comp window over and get rid of the character palette. Now I want to duplicate those two slices over for here and here. Okay, so I need to go back to the slice tool. Now, in the slice tool, I'm going to hold the shift key and the command key, or control key. So I have command and shift selected. I click both of these. Now I let go. I hold the option key, or alt. I click the mouse on one of them and hold the shift key, and look at how I can now make 2 become 4. And I'm going to have to widen these because of the words here. But before I do that, I think I'll keep this going over to the 2 that are over here. See how both of these are selected? I'll come back with the slice select tool and widen these the same width. Actually, I probably should do it now because they'll both widen the same width. I don't really want to, but I'm going to do it anyway. It didn't matter when, but since I have them both selected, I might as well just widen them. Now, let's duplicate them here and then thin them back down. So let's go to Option or Alt, click in the middle, hold the shift key, and 4 became 6. Now I'm going to move it over like this, and I'm actually, do you see how I have to Command Z back because I want to zoom in because I don't know if it's showing up on screen. I'm going to do it. I want it. There's a slice going right down where my knife is, right there. I'm going to hold Option or Alt, hold my mouse down, hold the shift key, and I'm going to actually snap that into matching this side, and then I'm going to move this side over and thin that button down here. Now let's move over for this one. Again, Option or Alt, I'm holding down, hold down the mouse, hold down Shift, and move over, and you can see how I'm just perfect right there. And now I have all 8 slices for the buttons. I have the 3 slices here, and I have the 5 slices here. Command S to save the file. Now what do we do with those? Okay, I have to show that what you have to do, and I'm going to do it in one window, but I'm going to open this up. I want to see where I want to open this up. In this student demo folder, I need a new folder. I need to call it Web Route Folder. Now I could do it right now by right-hand clicking and making a new folder, or I could do it in the Photoshop window. It doesn't really matter. I'll do it right now. I'll call it Web ROUTE folder. And I don't want any spaces in it. So please, in the folder you're working in, make a new one called Web Route Folder. Good. Now I'm going to click back to Photoshop. That's where we're going to save everything. And what I want to show you first is, if you've never made a web page, I want to show you something. I'm going to go to the web page I made already. When I make these HTML pages, it slices these pages up into all of these little squares that are in this picture right back here, okay? But they appear in an images folder that I don't make, but Photoshop makes it. And in this images folder are all these GIF images. Please don't let this overwhelm you. This is just something that Photoshop makes. Okay, all of these are actually the photography ones right here. Now if I open them up, you're going to see that they're just little slices of things. They're just little parts of the page. Here is a back button. See how it's a back button slice, and this is the rollover back button. Here is the normal back button right here. It's just called back. So they're just little slices, little like a cookie cutter. That's the best way I can say it. So let's go make it. All right, I have to be in the normal state, not the over state. So I'm going to go to the normal state. With the normal state selected, I'm going to reduce the size of the page. On a Mac or PC, please go to File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. That's for me, it's Command Shift Control S. For you, it would be Control Alt Shift S. Okay, because I don't really want to keep on going up to this menu. Click. Now, I'm going to use the Command minus to make that slightly smaller, or Command plus to make it slightly bigger, or use my option scrolling technique. Option or Alt middle mouse button scroll. I'll tell you why. I found out that there's an original tab and an optimize tab. Go ahead and click back to the original tab. Please do that right now. Okay, click to the original tab. Don't touch anything that's over in this right hand side. Everything's fine. But I want you to start way out here and draw a box around everything. So all the slices are selected, every single one. And I want you to hit save. I want you to put this bottom thing right here on slices on selected slices. I want you to put the format on HTML and images. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find that folder I just made. Watch this. I click to my Web Page Assets folder. Here's my student demo thing that I'm doing for you right now. And inside there's that blank web route folder that I made. Would you please find your web route folder? Don't double click it, please. Just click on it. Triple check that your name is correct. Look at how it's Sorial_portfolio HTML and slices right here. Don't touch default settings and leave it on selected slices and just click save. Now, as soon as I click save, what it has done, let me go back to the folder. What it has done, and I'll go into it right now, is it's already made the images folder, watch this, and it's made the Sorial Portfolio HTML. Inside is only going to be all of these little GIF pictures. And there's something called a spacer GIF. Please don't ever touch that. Now I'm going to double click this, and you're going to see how there is my page. Now do you notice how the side over here is white and white? And how it's shoved all the way over to the left-hand side of the browser? That is very ugly and very uncomfortable. I'm going to show you a little trick on how to move it over and how to gather and make it a prettier page. I'm going to do that right now, okay, before we go any further. So what I want to do is to memorize a color of a darker gray. So watch this. I have a pad of paper in front of me, and I have a pencil. And I'm going to click the foreground color. And I'm going to click this gray that's right in the background. Let me get closer to it. Click the gray that's right in the background. Now down here, don't touch that because that's the same gray. Okay. Now down here is a number. So I want you, in my case, it's the number symbol 383 F, lowercase f as in Frank, 47. I want you to write your web code color down. This is what that number is on the bottom. I'm going to click OK. Now, I am going to go back to something here that I want to bring up on my screen. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And I want to go back, and I actually have written down my own little something that I really don't want you to see at the moment. And I want to go in right now, and I want to open this page. I'm going back to your page. I'm going back to the web route folder. I'm going to double click this page one more time to show you that it is the page that's shoved way over to one side, and it's white all the way around. So I'm going to close this. I'm now going to right-hand click, and I want you, if you have the entire Adobe Creative Suite, if you don't have it, right now go get the Extend tool script and application, and go get Dreamweaver. So you go into your little Creative Cloud, and you find your apps that you want, and you go to get the new apps that are available to you, and you can see how I have Dreamweaver right here and Extend tool script right here. So all you have to do is download them. Okay, and if you need to get the trial versions, go get the trial versions. So if you have to close this file and stop this movie at this point, just please have Dreamweaver and extends ToolScript. Okay, so no big deal. You can come back and remember this is extra credit part. So it's not even due until later in the semester, and you can email me or just Canvas email me, and maybe I can work with you to try to figure out how to get it. But if you're part of the Creative Cloud, you should have it. So what I'm going to do is go back to my Finder. I'm going to go right-hand click on this, and I'm going to open with, look at this, Extend ToolScript. And I'm going to open up the CC version, and there it is. This is my web page. And here I have found, I can't make it any bigger. So I want you to see this says body background color right here that I highlighted. It says body background color, and FFFFFF is white. So if I were to go back into Photoshop just to show you that, I think it's important that you know these things. I'm going to click the color picker and shove this all the way up in the corner. Now look at how down here it says FFFFFF. That's what that color is. So let's go back to Extend ToolScript. Let me find where it is actually. Right there. And I'm going to take the left margin, and instead of, I'm going to go grab that color that I wrote down. So I'm going to drag across this FFFFF. What I could have done is just copied it in Photoshop and pasted it right here. But I'm going to go 383 F47. I've now put that gray where the white was. Do you understand? Now I'm going to take the left margin and I'm going to put it at 100 for 100 pixels. I'm going to put the top margin at 50 pixels. I'm looking at a code that I wrote, and I'm going to go to the margin width and put it at 100 pixels. Do not take away the quotation marks, please. And I'm going to put the margin height at 50 pixels. And all I'm going to do is to save the file. Command S to save the file. Okay, or file save. Okay, now close it. Now let's go back into our folder, and where I double clicked before and it had white, it now has gray. And instead of shoved all the way over to the left hand side, it's nicely centered in the page for most horizontal screens. But at least it'll be away from the right hand side, I mean the left hand side. And look at how attractive that looks. Now we're going to do the same thing when it comes to the next one, and then once I get the rollovers in there and I get the next one sliced up, I'm going to close this movie and we're going to now link everything in Dreamweaver for the fourth movie. So let me close this. Let's go back to here. Now let's do the slices for the rollover state. Okay, so we're done for the normal state. So we click in the layer comp window to the rollover state. We save the file as normal. We go to, I don't need to go all the way here, but let's go to Export under File, Save for Legacy. Now again, if you need to option scroll out of this, you have to be able to click, because we have it on selected slices. Even in this small little frame here, I'm going to try to get slightly bigger with it like this. Let us now click all the things that we need to click. So what I'm going to do is to click away from everything. I'm going to take and click this one. Oh, I have to click away from the Optimize tab to the Original tab. Please do that right now, please. Now look. Once it's on the Original tab, I can click, hold the Shift key and click, 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 click all of the rollover user slices. That means all work, Photoshop, and Illustrator. And then please, it's not going to show up very well. Maybe I can get closer to it. But I'm going to click, hold the Shift key and click Contact, Work, services, because a little yellow line shows up all the way around, about, and home are all selected. Okay, that was very important that all of these are selected. Now I click Save. I change it from HTML and images to images only. Up in this window, please click between the period and the end of the 0 on portfolio and have your cursor flashing. Click an underscore, so go Shift dash, which is an underscore, and the word over, meaning roll over. You have to put that in there, and it has to be an underscore over, and then it'll just be the normal.gif. Make sure this is images only, and make sure it's only on selected slices, and click Save. Now, everything is done for this page. Okay, so I can hit Command S to save the file and actually close out that page and get ready for this page. But I want to go to the Finder window to show you what we've done. So I have the Sorial portfolio done, but in the images, I'm going to open this up wide. I want you to see how all of these GIF files are here, and now here I'm actually highlighting all of these overstates. So if I were to just open up the 03 GIF on top, I want you to see something. There is the normal state for the word home. It's gray. See it? Now let's go down to the overstate on the 03 GIF, and there's the black one. So I've got everything done in the right way. Now I'm going to go backwards on this folder, and in a minute we're going to have Sorial underscore photography, and this one's going to be very easy because there's only one button to click. So on here I forgot that I didn't want the word all work, Photoshop, or Illustrator. I only want this one to say back. Okay, so I'm going to go into the side buttons. I'm going to throw away all work. Look at how I'm just picking them both up with the Shift key and I'm throwing them away. I'm going to throw away Photoshop, throw it away, and I'm going to turn the word Illustrator into the word work. I'm sorry. Oh, silly man. Okay, back. And I'm going to double click this one and have it be the word back. And now I have, oh, I hit the return key, Mr. Silly. I should hit the check mark. Look at how I have the word back as here and here. And it's just about, both of them are just about in the right place. Let me hit Command semicolon. And you can see if I move this guide or put in a brand new guide for the edge of the back, see how that lines up to contact and it's already correct? Command S to save the file. Now there's no need to make layer comps here because there's only one button to click. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command semicolon. This is going to go very fast. I'm going to go get the slice tool. I'm going to put one slice around the word back. That's it. I'm done. Okay, so I'm going to save the file. That was all I had to do. Now I'm going to turn off the rollover state. Now let's quickly do this to make the normal state. Right now I'm in the normal state of everything. Okay, actually I'm not going to worry about the upper title bar buttons, and I don't want you to as well. So I don't want to make all of these slices again for up here. So what I'm going to do is go into the title bar buttons and I'm going to turn off all of the overstates. I'm sure if you want to, later on you can do that with yourself, if just by making 5 slices up here and repeat the process that I'm going to be using in a few minutes. Okay, so I triple say that this word here should have changed to the word back. So Illustrator should have changed to B-A-C-K. Now it did, and I saved the file. So I'm only concentrating on that word, okay? Now, I'm turning off the rollover state. I'm going to go File. I'm going to save it first. Go to File, Export, Save for Legacy. I'm going to zoom out a touch. Marquee everything on the file, click to the original tab, all right, and save it. But now I'm going to save it as HTML and images, and it's already correct. Everything's fine. And click Save. It's already going into the right folder. Now let's immediately do the Over button, the Rollover button. So let's turn it on. Let's go back. I'll save the file. Let's go back to File, Export, Save for Legacy. Let's click to the Original tab. Click away and click back to the Back tab. See how it's all on perfectly. Let's hit Save. Let's go to Just Images Only. Now what do I have to put up here? Between the Y and the period, an underscore and the lowercase word over, and I click Save. Now I can hit Command S to save the file. I can close this file and go into the thing I just made right here. Let me make sure it is yours. Yes, it is. Now, here is your portfolio page, nothing links, and here is your photography page shoved all the way over to the left-hand side. So watch the cool thing that I can do at the moment, okay? I can open up by right-hand clicking the portfolio page in Extend Tool Script. Now, I can drag from the left of body color all the way to the quotation mark way over here. So grab the quotation mark and hit Command C. You have all the numbers and the code the way you want. Close it. Right-hand click and open the new HTML with Extend Tool Script. Drag across all the way from where you had it to the quotation mark. Don't get anything else involved in it, please, and don't eliminate any code. So I stopped at the quotation mark, Control V or Command V, and now I have the proper text, the proper color, and the proper left margin, top margin, margin width, and margin height. I hit Command S to save. Now, look at how the portfolio page opens up correctly, and the photography page opens up exactly. So I can go back and forth beautifully between them. They're just not linked yet, and we're going to do that in the next movie. So take care, review this movie if you need to for the extra credit, but it's awfully fun to do this. So I'll see you in a few seconds.